if I studied, sorry, if I study hard, that means this is going to happen now. When? Now. It is simple present, yes? If I study hard right now, there is a possibility to see the good result, yeah? So, you can say what? I'll pass the exam. Okay. If I study hard, I will pass the exam. This is future, yes? Because here is a condition and then there is a consequence, yeah? Or a result. So there is a possibility for your result to happen after now. After now means what? Future, yes? Okay, one. You can also say, yes, I may help you. I may help you if you ask me. If you ask me. This time I begin my sentence with the main clause. I may help you if you ask me. All right? If you ask me when? Now. So there is a possibility to help you after now. This is conditional sentence type 1. In the case of conditional sentence type 1, it is what? If clause, if plus subject plus verb 1, which is simple present, and main clause, subject plus will, yeah, shall, or may plus verb 1. This is our main clause. So here, since the result is going to happen in the future, there is a possibility. That's why we call it possibility condition. And that's why I want you to say possibility condition instead of simply type 1, type 2. All right? Okay, let's come to conditional sentence type 2. In the case of conditional sentence type 2, or what we call imaginary or improbable, there is no probability to happen. Right? There is no chance to happen. Everything, look, remember this. Everything begins and ends here in your mind. It is imaginary condition. You see? Imaginary what? Imaginary condition. Someone of you sitting there learning or taking my lesson, you might imagine something. You might say, if I were rich, look, if I were rich. Oh, okay, if you were rich, but this time you are not rich. This time, I said this time, yeah? If I were rich, what would you do? I would help, yeah? I would help the poor. You see? If I were rich means I am not rich, but you are thinking in your imagination. You see? If I were rich, okay, what would you do? One of the activities that you want to do. Oh, if I were rich, I would give money to my neighbor. I would do that, and everything is in your imagination, okay? Yeah, so that's why we call it improbable. The probability is what? 0. For now. I said for now, okay? Okay, let me give you one more. Let us see this. I may help you if you ask me. This is I may help you, which is type 1. Let's make it to type 2. I may help you. I might help you. If, let's come here. You ask me. Subject plus verb 1. But this time, simple past. So how do you do? If you asked me. You see? Conditional sentence type 1, possibility condition, or the imaginary and improbable condition with the form of, look, if, yeah, plus subject plus verb 2, and main clause, subject plus Here on the first conditional, there was will, shall, may, and can. There is also can, okay? But in the case of type 2, let's change this into past. Can, could. All right? Will, would. Instead of shall, we say what? Should. Wonderful. Instead of may, we say might. The verb remains verb 1. This is how we write conditional sentence type 2. Type 1, type 2. Possibility, improbable. Yes? Possibility, imaginary condition. Okay? These were the two conditionals that we have covered so far. Conditional sentence type 1 and conditional sentence type 2. Today we're going to see the third conditional, which we commonly say what? Conditional sentence type 3, but I want you to say impossible, okay? The impossible condition. Say this with me. Impossible condition. This one is improbable because it is imaginary. The type 1 is improbable because it is what? Imaginary or unlikely. Yes? And this one is possible because it's talking about what happens at present and what results in the future. And our today's conditional is impossible because we are going to talk about the past. It is impossible not because it is imaginary, but it is because it is what? About the past. So, our today's conditional is the impossible condition. After this lesson, you will be able to write different sentences, or you can even make your own regrets in the form of the conditional sentence type 3 that we're going to learn. Are you ready? Wonderful. Follow me. Okay. Conditional sentence type 3. Or, as I told you now, it is impossible. The impossible condition. And I want you to remember, why is it impossible? It is impossible because of time. Because of time. Okay? We are talking about past events now. You're talking about what happened in the past. Something that you couldn't bring back. For example, simple example. I know one of you get 8 out of 10 in your English test. I said 8 out of 10, yeah? But you regret it. There are a lot of things that you regret. Yes? You don't feel good because you wanted or you expected 10 out of 10, which is always your mark. Yes? So this time it was what? 8 out of 10. Too bad. So let's make our regrets. If I had studied harder, yeah? If I had studied harder, I would have scored 10 out of 10. This is one of your regrets. Oh, if I had studied harder, which means you study hard, but if I had studied harder, you see? If I had studied harder, can you make that now? Can you change this 10 out of 10? Maybe for the next test, yeah? But for that test, it's already passed. So it's impossible to make it what? 10 out of 10. Why? Because of the time. So, how do we tell the time? Look, if I had studied harder, wait, let me mark this with red, in red, okay? Had plus past participle, or what we call verb 3, past participle. What do we call that tense? Had plus past participle? Very good. Past perfect. Past perfect. Okay, let us go there. Yes? Would. Then there is also have. Oh. Then scored, verb 3, which is what? Perfect conditional. Yes? It is what? Perfect conditional. Perfect conditional. Let me show you a simple way of guessing the form of this. When you say conditional, it is what? Would, should, could. Yeah? Yeah, when I was a student, we used to say, woulda, shoulda, coulda. This is how we just easily grasp the words. What did I say? Woulda, shoulda, coulda, which means would, should, and could. That is what we call the conditionals. And then how about the perfect? Oh, perfect, obviously, there is what? Have. All right? And then, how is the verb? If it is have or if it is perfect, have plus verb 3. This is the form of conditional sentence type 3. Or, as I told you, what? Here. Impossible. It is what? The impossible condition. Okay? Let me give you some more examples. More examples. Okay? If she had again, if she had had much money, if she had had much money, what does it mean? If she had had, do you think this person had much money? No. No. By the way, conditional sentence, since we are talking about a past, we are telling our regrets, yes? Or regrets of something or someone, yeah? So what do you say? If she had had much money means this girl, yes, she didn't have much money, yes? So, if she had had much money, she would, or she could, this time let's use could, she could have given some to the poor. But look at this. It is very long, right? Yeah. If she had had much money, this time, let's classify the words here. The first had, it is the past perfect had. Yes? All right. The second had, it is the V3 form of have, to own something, to possess something, okay? So, if she had had much money, all right, what could she do? She could have, conditional, have given, perfect, yes, some to the poor. But was it possible? We said it is impossible condition. So, was it possible? No, it wasn't. Why? Because it was past. Yeah? One more example. All right. Let us see another one. We would have visited you if we had known you were sick. Look, We would have, this time I begin my sentence with the main clause. I told you you can begin either way, right? We would have visited you. That means we didn't visit, yes? But why? If we had known means what? We didn't know. You see? Be careful. We are talking about the past, okay? We are talking about the past. Means when you say, if we had known, that means what? This means, in other words, we didn't know. We didn't know, okay? We didn't know that you were sick. We didn't know. So, we would have visited you means what? We didn't visit. We didn't visit. Why? We didn't know. When? Someday in the past. Someday in the past. Okay? So, this is all about the conditional sentence type 3. Let us practice it together here in the class. Okay? Let me give you some sentences and you can write it in conditional sentence type 3. Activity 1. All right? Activity 1. 1. If I had read the book, okay? If I had read the book, I blank narrate it to you. Here we go. This is our first sentence. The second one, she could have, yeah? She could have come. She could have come if she blank know my place. 2. The last for this activity, if we blank, and the verb is work, if we blank work hard, okay, we blank, yes, score better. Okay, here are the 3 sentences here. The first one, if I had read the book, I blank narrate it to you. 2, she could have come if she know my place. And 3, this time, both of the clauses are waiting for you, okay? On the first one, the if clause is complete. On the second one, main clause is complete. On the third one, that's up to you to make a complete conditional sentence type 3. The first one, as I told you, when you always try to answer conditional sentences, give attention not to the blank space, okay? To the complete sentence. How is it completed? Let's see, the first one. If I had read, look, what do we have here? We have had and read, all right? If I had read, which is past perfect. So, when you have here past perfect on the if clause, then what do you do on the main clause? Look, perfect conditional, which means would, should, could, or might with have plus verb 3. Okay? So, look, I blank narrate it to you. So, let's use one of the 3. Okay, let's say I should or I would. Okay? I would, then, after would, have. Very good. I would have, then our verb becomes what? V3, which is narrated. Look, I would have narrated it to you. Did you say like that? Good. Let us see the second one. She could have come. Now, the main clause is complete. How is it completed? Let's see. She could have come. What do we have here? We have could plus have plus verb 3, right? Okay. She could have come. This one is complete. Could have come. So, we are expected to make what? Had plus past participle, right? So, which one is our verb? If she, no. She, here is our subject. Then, what comes next is what? Had. Very good. If she had, yeah? Then, after had, we use past participle, which is known. See? She could have come if she had known my place. Good. Let us see the third one. If we blank work hard, we blank score better. Okay? Look. If clause. This time it's all about conditional sentence type 3. So, let us use the form. If we is our subject, then what next? Had. Okay. Had. Then work. What type of verb do we use? Past participle, which is what? Worked. We don't say worked, we say worked. Okay? Then, if we had worked hard, we blank. Now let's go to the main clause. We. After we can use what? We would, should, could. Yes? Okay. On the first one, we have used had, so this time let's make it could. We could. All right? Okay, then after could, what do we have? The perfect one, yeah? Have, then scored. You see? If we had worked hard, we could have scored better. I am sure you have done it 3 out of 3, most of you, yeah? Very good. Okay. Now, my second activity, so far we have seen the 3 types of conditionals. Conditional sentence type 1, or possibility condition, the improbable or imaginary condition, and this one, the impossible condition. Let me give you activity 2, and then let me see if you can identify which conditional is which sentence. All right? Let's go. Activity 2. Activity 2. Okay. Use the correct form of the verb in bracket and complete the following sentences. Okay, here is our instruction. So you're expected to complete given sentences. In order to complete the given sentences, you have to see. Listen, before you do the incomplete, you have to check out the complete ones, okay? If we knew the story, comma, we blank tell you. Okay. If we knew the story, we blank tell you. I'm going to do the same sentence, all right? Okay. This time, look. If we know the story, okay, we blank tell you. Oh, I like this one. The third one, if we had known the story, yeah, we blank tell you. Wonderful. Here we go. The same sentence with different structure. If we knew the story, in 3 of them, if clause is complete. So before you go to the main clause, you have to check out how the if clause is completed, okay? Good. If we knew the story, we blank tell you. If we know the story, we blank tell you. And if we had known the story, we blank tell you. 3 simple sentences with simple answer, 3 minutes. Go ahead. Okay, so time is up. Isn't that fun to see the same sentence with different structure? I like it, by the way. Look, if we knew the story, we blank tell you. What do you do for that? What do you do? Yeah? Look, what do I tell you? Before you go to the answer, before you rush to the answer, focus on the complete sentence, all right? Look, if we, subject, okay, plus knew. It is what? Verb 2, very good. So, which conditional sentence has simple past on its if clause? Yes? Very good. It is conditional sentence type 2. Verb 2 on the type 2. Yeah? Verb 2 on the type 2, okay? Okay, so how do we need to complete this one? We blank tell you. We would, yes. We would tell. We would tell you, okay? Let's go. The next one. We have if, then, we, subject, plus, yes? No, verb 1. Yes? Verb 1. So, which conditional has simple present on its if clause? Or, let me make it like this. Which conditional has verb 1 on its if clause? Yes, type 1 with verb 1. Oh, this makes it very simple, right? Type 1 with verb 1. So, what is the main clause of conditional sentence type 1? Yes. This time we said would, and here we will say will. Will tell you. Okay? Let's go here. If, okay, we, subject, right? Then, plus, what do we have here before the verb? We have had. Plus, then our verb is what? Verb 3. What do we call this tense? Had plus verb 3. Past perfect. Good. Past perfect. So, which conditional has got past perfect on its if clause? Yes? Yes? Yes, very good. Or let me change it in the fun way. Let's make it a game. Which conditional has verb 3 on its if clause? Yes? Verb 3, type 3. Yes? Good. Yes, verb 3, type 3. So, how do we finish? Yeah, we finish it. What? Here we say will, would, and then this time would have told. Verb 3. Yes? We would have told you. Let's read it again. If we knew the story, we would tell you. Okay? If we know the story, we will tell you. And if we had known the story, we would have told you. This one, type 3. The second one, type 1. The first one, type 2. If you have done correctly this sentence, that means you are perfect with conditionals. So, our today's lesson, it was conditional sentence type 3, but we tried to see the 3 conditionals that we have covered so far. Yes? So when it comes to conditional sentence type 3, we call it the impossible condition. Most of it is all about a regret or telling a past activity or past experience. It is impossible, not because it is imaginary like the second conditional, but it is impossible because it is telling about past activities. It is impossible because of the time. Okay? And the form of this conditional sentence type 3 is what? Subject plus had plus verb 3 on the if clause. All right? And the perfect conditional, which is would, should, could, plus have plus verb 3 on the main clause. So, how are you doing so far? Very well. Okay, so that was all what I have for today. But before I finish my lesson, let me give you an activity to practice. Okay? Homework. Homework. Okay. Use the correct form, the correct form of the verb in bracket, okay, and complete the following sentences. All right. The first one, she blank tell the truth if you asked her. She tell the truth if you asked her. 2, if I blank be you, I would talk to my parents. Okay. The third one, if we had a car, okay, we blank give a ride to you. The first one, they, okay, they may come if you invite them. The last one, all right, the last one, if we blank have the information we might have done better. Here we go. 5 sentences. Use the correct form of the verb in bracket and complete the following sentences. The first one, she blank, tell is the verb, the truth, if you asked her. If I blank be you, I would talk to my parents. If we had a car, we blank give a ride to you. They may come if you invite them. If we have is the verb, the information, we might have done better. So what do? Before you answer, for example, this one, the main clause is empty. So before you rush to the main clause, you have to focus on the if clause. Yes? The same is true for the others. So that's all what I have about conditionals. So far, the 3 conditionals. Then you can practice these exercises and another exercises or different exercises from your textbook and different references books, and then develop your grammar. Okay? That's all what I have for today. I'll see you next week with a new topic. Until then, have a good one.